What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I've been gone for far too long, and the reason why is because we have moved into a new house, as well as me becoming a father. So our baby Warren, a healthy baby boy, was born back in June, and it has been really busy, just to be frank. So I've been trying to get him, just raised and get into some new routines and that whole process, as well as move us into this new house, go through that house buying process. We pretty much jam packed all the stressful things we could do and life changes into kind of a 3 to 5 month period, which has left you guys hanging, unfortunately, when it comes to content here on YouTube. I've been kind of consistent on Instagram. That will be picking up, as well as the content here. And frankly, just because I now have a much better space to film a lot of this. So, without further ado, I want to give you guys a bit of a tour, as well as a idea of what is going to be happening with the channel going forward in this next couple of months. So through the month of December, here finishing November, I'm going to post a bunch of videos on me building this home gym. So some of you guys might be interested in that. Some of you may not be, but I think it is just important to kind of talk about deals, as well as, this is just something fun and kind of a passion project of mine as someone that has been in fitness and rehab for as long as I have. This has just been a long, dream of mine. So, I have a bunch of equipment actually coming in today. It's not all coming in, unfortunately, but this is kind of that start video to really just bring in like how I'm building this home gym. I imagine I will get like very minimal views on this. It's kind of vlog style, I guess. But I will give you kind of the overview and the idea of what is going to be happening going forward with this. So here behind me, you can see I have all this space, right? If I back up, this is where I'm going to be working out a lot of the times. And hopefully you can see, like, I can set this camera up very nicely. A little bit of an echo in here, unfortunately, but that will go away as I get more equipment and things in here. But I have all this space, and I'm just really, really excited about it. So I'll give you the idea. I'm also open to, any recommendations that you guys might have. If you've built a home gym, you're into any kind of like interior design of some sort, I'm all ears. So we're in the basement of my home. I have really over here on this wall, it's about 10 feet along, as well as the space coming out. I believe it comes to around 15 to 16 feet. So for those in metric system, sorry, I don't know what that is off the top of my head in centimeters or meters. But that said, I got a good amount of space. I've put up all this tape here as an idea of just where my stuff is going. So I'll bring up and kind of throw some edits here of the equipment that I decided to go with and how I'm going to be utilizing that space. So really the primary area that we're going to be using is right over here. And so this is where I purchased the Rep Athena cable and half rack wall mount system. So it's a bit pricey, but I liked it because it has far less of a footprint, right? So it really only comes out about 3 feet, less than 3 feet. So it's really, really close here, and to the wall essentially. And so it will be built out. It comes out to 80 inches tall, so just a little bit taller than me. I have 8-foot ceilings, unfortunately. But that said, doing the best we can with the space that we have, versus this does come in a 94-inch, which just wouldn't fit in here. So I considered the garage gym setup, but it gets cold here in Ohio, as well as very hot and humid. I will be putting a rack out there of some sort with some bumper plates, and just so I can do like pull-ups and open up the garage, and get some fresh air with some of my training on nice days. But we're going to stick down here in the basement dungeon of sorts for the foreseeable future. It is climate controlled and very comfortable down here. It's actually like below freezing right now, and I couldn't, like, I'm in a t-shirt. So it's very, very comfortable down here. which is very nice. And my wife will be using this space as well as the kid in the future. So that's why I decided to pick the basement gym. So, anyways, back to the Rep Athena setup. So it basically has a front rack. There is a piece of tape back here. So this is where the arms or the safety guards will be coming off of this rack as it attaches. Think of a pole right here, and then it's going to go across and attach here. And that's really as far as this comes out. Now I can take those guards off. I'm going to be putting them on the walls to save space and keep this nice and open. But, it really only takes up this much space when you have everything kind of together, right? So I'm really excited about that. Like I said, doesn't come too far off the wall. The best part about the Rep Athena is that it has selectorized cable stacks. So there's going to be 2 cable stacks, one on each side. So one over here, one right here, and then the cables move up and down this front rack here. Obviously, I'll put those cables all the way to the bottom whenever I'm going to be squatting or doing RDLs or anything like that that's in this half rack position. But to have the cable stack, that's something that's really important to me in the training that I do, and I think it's something that will just really use this space very, very nicely. And again, I can take this camera, point it up and down, kind of improve the shot quality as we go. Within here, I'm going to do some kind of like wall control setup. So there's just think of like a ped board of some sort. It has little hooks, and then I can put my attachments on it. I'll probably do right through here something for my dip station. So I have like a little arm that's going to come off of the poles, and then that way I can do weighted dips, which I'm super excited about. So that will probably go here or somewhere on the wall. I need to find where my studs are. I kind of have them picked out right now, potentially. But that said, I'll figure out kind of where that goes after I get the rack in here, which comes today. Really excited. So going to kind of start to put that together a bit, at least get it down here. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I may not have a ton of time to put together, but hopefully by next week, I'll be able to kind of, film that process, what it's like putting together the wall rack for the Athena, as well as, just kind of the general direction that this is all going. I have my dumbbells that I've gone with are a power block up to 90 pounds is what that's going up to. And then I actually went with the commercial stand, which I'm pumped about as well, because it has a little shelf on the second story of it. So it's like the blocks will go up top. I think I'm going to put them like right here. I might put them back over here. Not 100% sure, kind of figure it out. But imagine they're kind of sloped, the power blocks, and then underneath there is going to be a shelf under there for some additional storage. I'm a big believer in keeping my space nice and clean, and any storage I can get is going to be helpful. I'm going to utilize my walls and any shelving that I might have. On this back wall here, I'm going to do some kind of like neon sign that says wall fit across it. I think that's going to look pretty cool. If not that, I'll probably have some kind of flag or something of that sort that'll say wall fit across here, just as my logo. And then over here, it's going to be a nice big mirror. I want it to be lit up, so that way it provides some additional light. That's the thing with the basement gyms, is the lighting can be a little bit weird. As you can see, I have good overhead lighting. I also have some additional lighting right here, but it's yellow, like so yellow, unfortunately. So I actually have new light bulbs coming in that will allow me to try to provide a little bit more like a daylight effect and get rid of this yellowy stuff. But the overhead lighting is going to look super sick for the gains and making muscles pop and all that kind of stuff, which is going to look really sweet in my opinion. But again, have some kind of lighting either behind the mirror. So I may bring it off a little bit, say with like a 2x4 or something like that. So it might come off like 2 inches, or just get like a built-in style of some sort that'll have like a ring around it for some additional lighting. I have added the, what are they called? The floor mats. And I put these in myself. I got these installed over the weekend. These are 4x6, so 4 foot by 6 foot rubber stall mats. So these are like the horse stall mats, if you have seen those. I got those for just under $40 each. So it came out to a total of, with tax, I picked them up at Tractor Supply and I got them for, I believe, a total of like $220 for 5 of them. I did have to cut some of them over here. So it's like right here, this is a whole mat. This is a whole mat. And then probably like a quarter of one of these, so about 1.5 foot or so, or about 2 feet, maybe something like that. I cut these. I will say cutting them is a bear, and it doesn't look terrible, but I can see like a little bit of like the concrete flooring and the padding that we have. I also have carpet down in my basement, and I ended up cutting that out. So I cut out the carpet because it was just really squishy and spongy underneath these mats. I didn't want to have to do that, but I decided to do it. But that actually ended up leaving me with these little nails for the carpet around the trim. And it actually works pretty well because these things are not going anywhere. Like they're not sliding around at all, which is great. So it's like they're kind of nailed up a little bit, and I haven't had any issues with these like sliding around in this space. I also have 3 walls that hold them in, so that's been really nice. Aesthetically, they're pretty close. I mean, like I can't see anything here. I recommend the horse stall mats. If I had a more open space, probably not. I probably would have done like the rolled rubber or something. That might have worked a little bit better. But overall, I like the horse stall mats. May upgrade in the future, but for now, they work great. So I really like them. And again, for $220, and at 1/2 inch of padding, it's going to protect my flooring, my concrete down here, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, I think it works really well and looks pretty good. Lastly, paint. So the paint down here, I actually don't mind this color. It's kind of like a greenish. I believe it's peacock green or something close to that. I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty good. The unfortunate thing is they use the wrong finish. So you can see how it's like a glossy finish and that like reflects a lot of light. That's not terrible, but it does show a lot of, excuse me, imperfections. So you can kind of see like up through here, like just some of the warping or like the little bits in here on the sheetrock or the drywall, and I don't like that. So I'll probably change this. If I don't change the color down here, I will at least finish this in an edge shell in order to just reduce some of that like glossiness on the wall. I think that'll look a lot better. It'll be a little bit more matte, and help with the lighting effect, kind of absorb that light. Because again, I have like 4 light bulbs here. I have these light bulbs here. I think it will help. And again, just hide some of those imperfections in the drywall. I'm also very open to what you guys might have to say here. So, I may actually just do like all black down here, paint my trim, change up my outlet covers, get those all black. But I would leave the ceiling white. That's kind of my thought process, not 100% there. If you guys have any recommendations on color scheme down here, again, interior designers, if there's any watching, would love to get your input on that. Lastly, this video is way too long already, but the last thing is I picked really just a lot of rep fitness equipment. So the rep Colorado bar, I like it. I already had a bunch of stuff shipping from them, so I just went with it. My other option was the rep Ohio bar. I think they're pretty similar. I've heard that the knurling on the Colorado bar is better, but they're pretty much the same bar from what I've done research-wise. The other thing is I went with the Rep Blackwing bench. I think that is going to cover everything. I got like 10% off with some of these Black Friday discounts, which was great. But it is a pricey bench. I can't believe I spent almost $600 on that. I went with the wider bench. So I believe it, instead of like the 12 inches, it's 14 inches. So a little bit wider. I can't stand when my scaps are like moving and like slipping off one side of a bench. So I went with the wider one. I also think it'll help with like step ups. I also like on the Blackwing that the top portion of it, like when you set it to an incline, I got the lead roller that'll sit in there. And so that way I can do decline sit ups, decline chest press, all kinds of things like that. And the lead rollers, I think, will also help with setting up with this cable attachment, this cable setup over here, in order to, do some different types of pull down variations and things like that. So bringing the desk down a little bit lower so you can just get a little bit better view in here of just what the space looks like. Again, the rubber mats will all look pretty good. And then barbell will go from here to about where my foot is here. So that's really the biggest decisions I had to make with the space. Again, equipment is coming in. Super pumped about that. And I'm going to post a bit more about that journey, specifically like putting together the Rep Athena wall mount. Let you guys know how easy or difficult that process is, and the paint and color scheme and the lighting that I will go with all of this as well. So yeah, guys, check out the WallFit app, free 7-day trial down in the description. I doubt anybody's going to watch this video because it's vlog style and just talking about my home gym. But again, this is kind of my passion project. I'm just really excited about it and the general build and the concepts going through. I'll repeat myself in the other videos, but you'll actually be able to see it physically, and I'll be able to talk about it and like touch it and move it around and all of that stuff and give you guys some demonstrations. This will not become a review channel. I promise you. I promise it will not do that. I got plenty of rehab, posture, and just general training stuff that is on the list for filming. I just haven't had a chance to do it, as well as the space. And now that I do, let's go. It's gonna be great. So yeah, guys, like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see me do down here. That would be pretty cool. Again, if you make neon lights, let me know. I really am in, like, want to put something super cool right there with my logo. And yeah, guys, really appreciate you, and happy Thanksgiving, and take care.